Correspondents gauge atmosphere as they engage political parties on imminent campaigns. Acting Controller General of Immigration directs enhanced border patrol across the country as campaigns begin. National Human Rights Commission assures of access to remedies for business-related human rights abuses. Hello, welcome to Venice Zeska 3 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. I am Muspa and Wahab with the news. Political candidates contesting the 2023 general elections should display patriotism to foster an enabling environment for peaceful, free and fair election as their political campaigns begin. This was the crux of discussion on Good Morning Nigeria on the topic ensuring a violence-free political campaign. Butual Mila reports.
Today, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, formally blows the whistle for the commencement of the campaigns towards the 2023 general elections. This implies that political parties and their candidates are free to openly solicit votes. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria are of the opinion that the narrative on electoral campaigns needs to change to ensure violence-free political campaigns.
Tell the politicians to bring their children and let them be in the forefront. Let them come and join the campaign, because what is good for the people, the children living in poverty, is also good for the rich children, because many of the children are abroad. During this campaign, you won't find them. There is a lot of conflict. There is a lot of, all of this narrative. The vulnerability of the young people is so much.
So we, the political party managers, that's talking about the like IPAC, for instance, we have committed, we have committed ourselves to the fact that this election must be the most credible one, and because where we are in Nigeria today, believe you me, is not what anybody at all, wants us to experience.
They commended the security forces on the job so far, but said more needs to be done to curb violence during elections.
But you know that in 2019, the military was all over the place in Rivers State here, where I live, and they were almost taking over the entire process in a manner that I think is quite totally and completely unacceptable.
The Nigerian police, because they are the #1 law enforcement agency as constituted by the law. This is a test to them that, see, if we have a violent-free election, that means it's a pass mark for you. That means we have a cause to celebrate that we have a Nigerian police.
Guests further advise youths to shun politicians who seek to engage them as thugs during campaigns, but instead should be patriotic in making Nigeria better. In Abuja, Butur Miller, NTA News.
Earlier on the news at 10, I was joined in the studio by Amsfree Ajenaku, a media and elections expert, and I began by gauging his take on the focus of the moment, that's been issue-based campaigns.
I think it is very heartwarming that we've had a groundswell of stakeholders calling on the political actors, the candidates, the political parties to ensure that the electoral process and this campaign season is defined by the issues that matter the most to Nigerians. And we heard Nigerians speak very loud and clear on the streets, saying there are core issues that are of topmost priority to the citizens. And so what every stakeholder in the process expects is that the political leaders, the political candidates, would go out of their way to move away from that history. You talked about that history of mudslinging, that history of just trying to mischaracterize their opponent, try to sling mud as much as possible and focus on the issues. But the reality is that we have only spoken, or the stakeholders have only spoken at the level of moral suasion. What is also heartwarming now is that INEC has also come out to say that there are clear infractions, that if anyone gets involved in those infractions, that there will be consequences for that. And I think that's, sends a direct message to all the stakeholders in the process to know that it's no longer business, or it will no longer be business as usual.
Osfrey Ajanaku earlier on the news. And also on our earlier bulletin, I was joined by Salihu Guanara, our political desk correspondent from the Tinubu campaign office, and with him was Aliyu Audu, the convener APC stakeholders, who shared his thoughts on the upcoming campaigns.
A lot of members of the parties are interested and are willing to be part of the campaign council. And I mean, like clearly, the leadership list that was released a while ago generated a lot of reactions, and people want to be part of it. While some other party have issues of people dropping nomination to be part of their campaign, in our own case, we have a lot of people struggling to be part of it and asking, and in the right direction. The leadership have decided to put everything on hold and ensure that a holistic arrangement is made where everybody feel accommodated before we actually commence the activities for the campaign.
It's okay. I know, as a stakeholder and one of the coordinators of a strategic group in the APC, I want you to share with us some of the messages you already shared with your teaming supporters in terms of them playing the game according to the rules in view of the new Electoral Act we have and the guidelines by the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Yes, Oshe, that's how we have been able to, avoid going against the rules, holding all of our activities, putting everything on hold. I mean, beyond just being good citizens, as members of the party in government, it's our responsibility to abide by the rules set. And to the glory of God, we've been able to do that, relatively well. I mean, there's not been any issue of us, going against the set procedures or set rules of the engagement. And what else, other than our members sticking to the rules and ensuring that our campaign messages are peaceful, our campaign messages are like uniting in nature and informational, more of educational. I mean, it's not a fight, like Asiwaju himself has said.
And similarly, my colleague David Ire was earlier with the national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure.
We are ready mentally, physically, and otherwise. All what we need to mobilize the people to vote for Labour Party come 2023 is ready. Our campaign materials are ready. Our manifesto is ready. The personnel is ready. Party officials are ready. Our presidential candidate is equally ready mentally and otherwise to canvass for votes for the 2023 general election. As you can see, people have even started the campaign even before us. Before today, majority of our people have been on the streets campaigning and canvassing for Labour Party.
Yes, but that is one of the issues. How do you intend to control that large crowd of youths to avoid violence during the campaign?
Well, you can see that even from the rallies carried out so far by our supporters, there is none that you have recorded violence. Our people are peace-loving people. Our people are law-abiding. Labour Party is equally peaceful and we are law-abiding. We play by the rules. Our campaign will be issues-based. In fact, all our interviews, all our discussions so far, we have centered all our campaign around the issues. And we have several issues to canvass, and therefore, we have no reason to degenerate to maligning of character.
National Chairman of Labour Party, Julius Abure, earlier with David Ire on their preparation for the campaigns. Now, the Acting Controller General of Immigration, Issa Jere Idris, has directed enhanced border patrol across the country as campaign for the forthcoming general elections begins. This, he says, will prevent influx of irregular migrants into the country, which may lead to interference with the electoral process. Victor Hazu reports.
Ban on electioneering campaign has now been lifted ahead of the 2023 general election to guard against infiltration of foreigners into the country, which may compromise the electoral process. The Comptroller General has summoned this meeting with top management and state controllers of the service in attendance.
They will be expected to collaborate with his agencies to prevent inflow of irregular migrants, smuggling of small arms and light weapons, which could be used to jeopardize our desire for a peaceful election.
Idris revealed that already officers have begun mopping up illegally acquired electoral accessories.
There have been interception of INEC voters' cards and national identity cards from foreigners that illegally acquired same. In the coming days, we expect an intensification of such interception at our respective controls and formations nationwide.
The Acting Comptroller General of Immigration also hinted at the deployment of technology to actualize its mandate. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
The Senate is considering a bill that seeks to regulate and formalize the employment of domestic workers in Nigeria. The bill, sponsored by Senator Sani Musa, also canvasses regulation of apprenticeships, internship, and other informal sector employees, and to empower the National Directorate of Employment to issue, license, and monitor privately owned employment agencies so as to check abuse.
Nigerian economy show evidence of violation of employees' rights and non-implementation of labor regulations.
Globally, Mr. President, this private sector is purely regulated in the interest and for the interest of every citizen of any of those countries above, including Nigeria.
So that we protect those who are also employing, at the same way we are also protecting those who are being employed. I think if this is not properly captured, that also should be looked at.
And monitor privately owned employment agencies whose responsibility will be to enroll employees in their data bank, safeguard and enhance their social security, and oversee their recruitment by employers who engage in legitimate occupation on such terms and conditions as may be agreed by the parties, and for other related matters. 2022 second reading taken.
This is the News Desk 3 on NTA News 24. Time for a break. More reports just ahead.
The launch of an awe-inspiring story of an orphan girl who became one of the most sought-after makeup artists.
I first met Herrera about 17 years ago when she did my makeup for an overnight broadcast that I was anchoring at CBS News.
I am so excited about her new book, The Audacity of an African Girl.
The Audacity of an African Girl, a tale of perseverance to inspire every young girl with big dreams like Hurera Musa.
Congratulations for bringing this up to the global stage.
I just hope you enjoy the story of her life.
Herrera, I'm so proud of you. Best of luck with your book. I can't wait to read it.
Date 8th of October 2022. Venue, Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. Time, 1 p.m. prompt. Mother of the Day, Her Excellency, Dr. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Father of the Day, His Eminence, Alhaji Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III, the Sultan of Sokoto. Special guest, His Royal Highness, Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Adobayero. Book reviewer, Professor Ladi Hamalai, former Director General, National Institute of Legislative Studies, Maitama, Abuja. For inquiries, contact media team on 0803 311 7676. This is NTA News 24.
Thanks a lot for sticking around. The 326-man national campaign organization of the People's Democratic Party for the 2023 presidential election has been inaugurated. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that It was two events rolled into one. First, unveiling of 3 books, the story of Atiku Abubakar, landmark constitutional law cases 2004, 2007, and also restructuring as a pathway to unity and development, written in honor of Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. To the inauguration of a PDP National Campaign Council, party's national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, was absent as the deputy national chairman, North Ambassador Omar Damagon, presided over the inauguration. Former Vice President Namadi Sambo, in a unanimous position with other stakeholders, harped on the need for party members to put their differences behind and work for the victory of Atiku Abubakar at the polls. The National Human Rights Commission says it will continue to ensure that its board mandate is adequately covered for its programs and interventions. Executive Secretary of the Commission, Tony Ojukwu, made this known in a 2-day training of regulatory agencies on access to remedy for business-related human rights abuses. The training is designed to build the capacity of agencies that regulate business activities and offer redress when human rights abuses and violations occur from such business activities.
The lives of people in ways that are designed to be positive. Apart from the provision of goods and services, they open up investment and employment opportunities which lead to economic development of communities and the state. While businesses have an impact on how we live our lives, human rights are basic rights and freedoms that protect all persons based on the principles of dignity, fairness, equality, and respect.
Businesses continue to cause or contribute to human rights and environmental harm through their activities, both at home and across borders. Communities affected by corporate activities, unfortunately, still struggle to obtain justice and reparation. It is these challenges that motivated in 2011 the adoption by the United Nations of the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights.
The training will also be extended to staff of the Commission in the State Office to enhance their capacity to handle complaints of business-related abuses brought before the Commission. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed his administration's formal appreciation to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, for the unprecedented strides being achieved recently in its renewed effort at ridding Nigeria of drug menace. This was when the chairman and chief executive officer of the agency, Mohammed Buba Marwa, briefed him on the recent cocaine seizure, described as the highest in the history of Nigeria. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the reports.
Since the appointment of General Muhammad Buba Marwa as chairman and chief executive officer of the NDLEA in January last year, renewed impetus has been given to the onerous task of ridding Nigeria of the drug menace. Indeed, significant achievements have been recorded in eliminating the growing, processing, manufacturing, selling, exporting and trafficking of hard drugs in the country. The recent smashing of an international drug syndicate and recovery of 1.855 kilograms of cocaine valued at over $278 million was unprecedented in the nation's history. President Buhari, who was in New York, had to put a call to the chairman of the Anti-Narcotics Agency to express his deep appreciation for the giant strides achieved in the renewed onslaught against what he called the wicked merchants of death. President Buhari is back in Abuja, and the NDLEA chairman is here to give further details on the successful operation by the agency. He told the president that the cocaine worth about 195 billion naira recovered from a warehouse in Lagos has already been destroyed. The Ikorodu operation, he said, was conducted clinically without any skirmish or bloodshed, a pointer to the fact that the game has changed in the war against illicit drugs. General Buba Marwa thanked President Buhari for not only his support and encouragement, but also the political will provided for the war against drug abuse. Keep up the good job, President Buhari concluded. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Still from the State House, the need for individuals and private organizations to support in the nurturing of young men and women who are into sports has been expressed by Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo. This was when he received members of the TRG International Gymnastics Club, Abuja, which has been involved in the nurturing of more than 3,000 athletes for local and international competitions. State House correspondent this time Gideon Nifade reports.
These youngsters fascinated Vice President Yemi Osinbajo with gymnastics and acrobatic displays, alongside stories of their experiences in national and international tournaments, winning laurels for Nigeria. They are gymnasts from TIG International Gymnastics Club, Abuja, a private sporting club whose members are visiting Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and are accompanied by their coaches, parents and handlers. The Vice President expresses delight at the conduct of the gymnasts, their coaches and parents, appreciating the abundance of talent in sports in Nigeria.
We are going to be as supportive as we can, and we will work with you. So thank you all very, very much and congratulations.
Looked at it that gymnastics is our thing in Nigeria, but we don't know how to make it professional. And the Atilogu dancers, you see them carry themselves up and somersault all the way down there. And if you go to Edo State also, you see them, they dance and then they do the danger rolling and stuff. And that's aerobic gymnastics. And then the Atilogu one is the acrobatic gymnastics. And some parts of the, to the west, you see them when they dance and shake and they do the bata. Bata is aerobic gymnastics. In fact, we've inculcated it into our system.
The club, founded 11 years ago, has trained 3,000 athletes, nurtured several gymnastics coaches, and represented the country at international competitions. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Now, to sport, as Nigeria Super Eagles fall to the Desert Foxes of Algeria on Tuesday in an international friendly, and former Super Eagles skipper John Mikelobi retires from football. Let's join our sports desk for details.
The Desert Foxes of Algeria continued their winning streak against the Super Eagles as they recorded a 2-1 win in Tuesday's international friendly in Oran. Terem Moffi gave the Super Eagles the lead early in the first half, but goals from Riyad Mahrez and Youssef Attal sealed the comeback win. The Eagles broke the deadlock on the 9th minute as Moffi slotted into an empty net after Kelechi Iheanacho's initial shot was blocked. In the 29th minute, Ademola Lookman thought he had doubled the Super Eagles lead, but it was flagged for a questionable offside. Mahrez drew Algeria level from the penalty spot on 41 minutes, and in the 61st minute, Algeria went 2-1 up, thanks to Attal, who sent in a long-range strike. The result means Algeria have now won their last 4 encounters with the Super Eagles. Meanwhile, former Super Eagles captain John Mikelobi has announced his retirement from football. The 35-year-old took to social media to announce his decision to quit the round leather game. There is a saying that all good things must come to an end, and for my professional football career, that day is today. He wrote on his Instagram page. Mikel spent 18 years playing the beautiful game. The former midfielder was part of the Chelsea side that won the 2012 UEFA Champions League title. Mikel also won 2 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cup trophies, the 2007 League Cup and 2013 Europa League during his 11-year stint with Chelsea. He also enjoyed immense success on the international stage as he won the Africa Cup of Nations in 2013 with Nigeria.
All right, happy retirement to Mikel Obi. And that concludes the News Desk 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks a lot for watching it. NTA Nationwide will be at top of the hour.